Here's your host, Matt and Adrian.
This is the AM Hookah Podcast.
Here's your host, Matt and Adrian.
Yo, man, he's got all kinds of voices you missed out on.
Oh boy.
Hey, dude.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Time to be bad. What is up, midnight tokers, afternoon hillers, and AM hookah smokers?
This is the AM Hookah Podcast.
This is the AM Hookah Podcast. What's up, midnight tokers, afternoon hillers, and AM hookah smokers? This is the AM Hookah Podcast.
Here's your host, Matt and Adrian.
This is the AM Hookah Podcast.
Here's your host, Matt and Adrian.
I need you to do it again because it
Yo, man, he's got all kinds of voices you missed out on.
oh boy.
Hey, dude.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Time to be bad. What is up, midnight tokers, afternoon hillers, and AM hookah smokers?
This is the AM Hookah Podcast.
This is the AM Hookah Podcast. What's up, midnight tokers, afternoon hillers, and AM hookah smokers? This is the AM Hookah Podcast.
Here's your host, Matt and Adrian.
This is the AM Hookah Podcast.
Here's your host, Matt and Adrian.
I need you to do it again because it
Yo, man, he's got all kinds of voices you missed out on.
oh boy.
Hey, dude.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Time to be bad. What is up, midnight tokers, afternoon hillers, and AM hookah smokers?
This is the AM Hookah Podcast.
This is the AM Hookah Podcast. What's up, midnight tokers, afternoon hillers, and AM hookah smokers? This is the AM Hookah Podcast.
Here's your host, Matt and Adrian.
This is the AM Hookah Podcast.
Here's your host, Matt and Adrian.
I need you to do it again because it
Yo, man, he's got all kinds of voices you missed out on.
oh boy.
Hey, dude.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Time to be bad. What is up, midnight tokers, afternoon hillers, and AM hookah smokers?
This is the AM Hookah Podcast. What is up, midnight tokers, afternoon inhalers, and AM hookah smokers? This is the AM Hookah Podcast with myself, your humble host, Matt. And I'm sorry if my camera looks really funny and odd and different. I wish I knew what was wrong with it, but I really don't. So I'm gonna be doing like RoboCop, like half head splitting and stuff. I hope it doesn't translate, but it looks like that to me. But it is not just me here. I'm joined, as always, with my co-host, my Batman to my Robin, Adrian. How are you doing, my man?
I always thought of myself as the Robin, but I'll take it. I'm doing good, man. Pretty excited for today's podcast because I always love how you introduce me, but I'm not the important one. Guess who else is here?
I have to introduce my co-host, and then the very special guest joining with us from Fakhama, USA. Absolutely a pleasure to have you. I'm only ranting because I'm afraid to say your name in person to you, but I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot. Badia, how are you doing, my friend? How are you doing?
I am great. I'm super excited to be here. Thank you, Adrian, and for having me here. This is going to be fun.
Yes, I am super excited. We are live on the YouTubes, waiting for a couple people to join us and hang out with us. If you are in the chat, please say hello. For whatever reason, my chat has not popped anything up as of yet. I'm actually going to restart it because it's pretty... There we go. There's people chatting, and I had no idea for some reason. I was like, that's weird. Normally we get a couple of people in the chat early, and for some reason nobody was showing up this time, but it was because my chat was actually screwed up. So let me get this working proper so I can say hello to everybody. Captain Wetbeard is here as always. Obviously, there's a guy named Pipe Dream Hookah here for some reason. Etch Games, Eddie Chong is here, Hookah Fiend. Oh my gosh, we got all the regulars. Akeem, the original superfan, here as well. We have a lot of stuff to talk about in this episode of the AM Hookah Podcast. Besides the fact that Badia's here from Fakhamah, USA, we have we're going to do a really big interview that's going to be covering both the industry as well as yourself as a person. We want to get inside the head. Who is Badia? That's the goal of today's episode.
Sure, I can.
But yeah.
I think I can cover those points.
But we'll be talking about all sorts of stuff. But let's go ahead and start with I think what people are excited about, Adrian. You know what I'm talking about, right? What are people excited about right now?
Is it the G word?
I think it's the G word. I think it might be the G word.
Does it end with a Y?
It does end with a Y.
It's the giveaway.
It is the giveaway. It is time. I think. Are you ready, Badia, to announce who you believe you are our final judge? You are the boss battle in this epic game of the AM Fakhamah Mix Contest. I want to go over, if you guys are okay with it, real quick, what we did for this contest, because I thought it was pretty. I was really happy with what we came up with as a team for this contest. Badia sent me the top 30 flavors that Fakhamah is known for, at least as of right now. I believe it was the top 30 selling flavors. Is that what you sent me?
Yes.
Yes, okay. And then we decided to have a maximum of 4 flavors, a minimum of 2 flavors, and it was a giant mix contest where it was not only important to get a good mix going with flavors, but it was also very important to me especially to get a good mix name, and my goodness did we have some good mix names. We had the Trigger Mix, we had the Bad Idea Mix, we had the BMW, which I actually thought was pretty creative. I like that name quite a bit. So anyways, after the initial 20 entries that we had in, we were able to separate down to 10. Then we had the community vote for the top 3, and now Badia has been working his ass off today, smoking and smoking. I know normally he must not do that, right? I mean, this is like completely different for you.
Yeah, this has been this afternoon has been super smoky, I would say, and creative in the packing methods, I guess. But I was able to smoke all 3 mixes, and thanks for everyone for submitting, of course, the mixes and the mix names. That was great mix names, I guess, and great mixes. The community voted on 3, but all top 10 are great, and I think I'm gonna try them all as I go forward. And I think I have the 3 lineup. Are you guys ready for them?
Yes, I think so.
Absolutely. Do we want to disclose what we did? Because there was a 3-way tie for the 3rd place.
Yes, there was a 3-way tie between.
How we came up with the winner of that.
And we spun a wheel. We spun a wheel for our final vote between the 3 of us. It was basically like a 1-vote type thing. And yes, we were able to come up with a final entry for it, and that's how we got the 3rd entry into it. So the top 3 entries, real quick, just so everyone is aware who they are. I had it listed, and for some reason I took my page down. So I don't know why I did that. Let me pull my notes back up, sorry. The top 3 inside of the contest were Bad Idea, and oh man, where's my other pages? I feel like such a okay, here we go. Top 3.
Good job, Matt.
I apologize. Bad Idea, Pappy's Mix. Did you guys say Pappy or Poppy? Poppy, right?
Poppy.
Yeah, Drew from Hookah Enthusiast said Pappy, and now for some reason when I see this word, I have to say Pappy Mix. Like, I don't know why. And Hitchhiker. Those were the 3 mixes that took the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd in the top entries. Bad Idea, Pappy's Mix, and Hitchhiker. And now, to put them in the proper order, we have Badia coming in as the judge and executioner. I'm just kidding about that. But let us know, what are the top 3 in the order that you think they belong in?
So the top 3, as I rated them. So in number 3 spot, going backward. I don't know why, but because I guess I can right now.
Give suspension. That's good.
And number 3 spot is Poppy's Mix.
Oh, Pappy's Mix taken in the 3rd place.
And in the 2nd place, coming in Hitchhiker.
Hitchhiker, okay. That means.
And the number 1 is the Bad Idea.
Number 1 is a Bad Idea, and I have to only assume that this name was based upon the fact that I have a terrible ability to pronounce people's names. And
you know, I don't know who submitted that. I do not know who submitted that.
I can give you the names right now because one of the ways that I wanted to keep this obviously as unbiased as possible is that when we selected the people for the top 10, we had no idea who their names were. We set it up completely blank slate, so there was no idea who was who, and that's how we were able to pick our top 10. The person behind, let's see, let's go through a couple of these real quick. The only one that I knew for sure who that was Captain Wetbeard because he used his name, Captain Wetbeard, inside of it, basically. But Daniel, I don't want to even pronounce his last name. Daniel came up with the Hitchhiker. That came in second place, as you said. In third place, the Pappy's Mix. That was submitted by Daniel, Danny, Jaime Luna. I don't know if I pronounced any of that correctly. I apologize. I probably butchered it. And first place was Paul, friend of the show. Paul, he's someone that we talked to, and Paul. If you're in the chat, I don't know if he is yet. If you are in the chat, let me know. Did you only pick that name because I can't pronounce Badia's name at all, and he told me to keep saying bad idea over and over again in the mirror, because I think that's why he picked that name. That's my assumption, at least.
And I don't think Paul is in here, so Eddie, I know you're in here. Yo, hit Paul up. Tell him to get his ass in here.
Captain Wetbeard says lol. Yes. Congratulations to the top 3, says Akeem. Brandon says hello. How are y'all doing? The teas by the Fakhamah are the best. Caleb, can't wait to try out the new flavors that they have out to try. Yes, we will be talking about that a little bit later on in the show as well. Gus says, yo, Matt's refresh rate on his cam is a bit weird. I agree. I'm so sorry. I don't know what the issue is right now. I'm going to try to stay as still as possible so that it doesn't cause any problems at all. This is very difficult for me. Okay, so yeah, we'll keep going into that. Paul's not here. Yes, he's not, but we will find him and we will tell him that his sadistic joke will not go unturned.
Also, hi, Amanda, who hasn't seen any love in the chat. What's going on, Amanda?
What is up? Sorry about that. I apologize.
Good job, Matt.
I apologize. So
I think we're gonna give Paul 10 minutes to claim his prize.
Is that what we're gonna do? Yeah, if he's not in here in 10 minutes.
I'm kidding.
Savage. Okay, so let's go over what the top 3 places are going to be receiving. In place number 3, 250 grams of Fakhamah tobacco. In second place is going to be receiving 500 grams of Fakhamah tobacco. And in first place, 1,000 grams of Fakhamah tobacco and a ticket for the Hookah World Wide Expo happening in Las Vegas on August. But
wait.
There's more.
Exactly. So Fakhamah will also throw in 2 tickets for the second place and the third place for the expo.
Oh my goodness.
So
this is fantastic.
Everyone will get tickets to the expo.
Everybody is capable of getting tickets to the expo now. That is completely being done by Fakhamah. We appreciate that so very much. That was a complete surprise to me and Adrian. Daniel, I thought I saw him in here. Are you in here, Daniel? If you still are in here, I thought I saw on your profile picture that you were from out of the country. I don't know if that's true or not, so please let me know if that is the case. And if it is, if you're planning on going to the expo, then hey, you got a ticket to go there. If not, let us know, and we can talk to you a little bit about that, because I don't want to. If you have no possibility of going to the expo, obviously, I don't want to do that. I don't even know what I'm trying to say completely, but I think everyone understands what I mean by that. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to say, to be honest with you. So let's go ahead and get into the show now. I apologize for all this. I don't apologize for nothing, because we're talking about some awesome stuff and we're giving away some really cool prizes. We want to thank not only Badia for being here on half of Fakhamah Tobacco, but also in general Fakhamah Tobacco for allowing us to do this giveaway and partnering up with us for this mix contest. It was an absolute blast, and I plan on posting the top 10 mixes on the AM Hookah group and the AM Hookah page. So anybody with a large amount of Fakhamah tobaccos, they will be capable of doing all these mixes upon themselves as well, as there are many, many really good mixes in the contest as well. That's just how the balls and the tobacco leaves fell to put them into different places that they fell into this time around. But let's go ahead and get into the show a little bit more proper. Adrian, my friend, what are you smoking, my friend?
Okay, so I'm not using the Aviator today, which has been my typical podcast setup, but I thought I'd switch it up. I'm using my Starbuzz Atlantis Short, the 1.0, the Made in America variation of Starbuzz hookahs. I got my D-hose with my pimped out replaced silicone hose part. And up top, you can't really see it. Maybe I can show you. This is actually a OG Predator Bowl.
Ooh.
And inside of it, I have some Tangier's Cane Mint and some, what is it, the Alchemist KFC Peaches and Cream with just a touch of Starbucks Vintage Fresh Lime. 3 titanium flats on top.
Goodness, that sounds like a very, very nice, refreshing mix. I'll be honest. That sounds very... How is KFC and Tangiers interacting with each other? I don't think I ever mixed any Tangiers and KFC when I had the KFC in-house.
So KFC takes a slightly less dense pack than Tangiers does, but when you introduce Tangiers into the party, KFC behaves very well at an extra dense pack, so you can palm it as long as you've got at least like 40-45% Tangiers in there.
Okay.
So it performs like Tangiers when it's hanging out with Tangiers.
Tangiers just brings everything up to Tangiers level, which is always really nice about Tangiers. Badia, what are you smoking, my friend?
I am smoking the Ice Lemon Mint from Fakhama, and with my Union Hookah and a D-Hose handle, and a Hookah John, the 80 feet Resurrect, I think?
80 feet Resurrection Bowl, yep.
The Resurrection Ball, yes. I never had the original, so I have the Resurrection. And 2 Golden Desert Cubes,
Okay.
and on a Provost.
Oh, very nice.
In a Provost, yeah.
Not on top of the Provost, but inside of it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know.
That would be weird.
I don't know how well that would work. One time I couldn't find my lid for my top of it, and I took my coals and I put it directly on my tinfoil, and then I took the bottom part, the tray, and I put that on top of my coals. Turns out that's a bad idea to introduce weight onto heated coals when you're just trying to cook something and not sear it and burn it. So don't do that. Don't put coals on foil and then put the tray on top of the coals. Bad idea, it turns out. But not Badia, bad idea. Anyways, I am smoking some Fakhamah because we have Fakhamah in the house, obviously. I'm smoking the Freeze Mint, which is a very, very strong sweet mint. One thing about my mint habits that I like is I don't care for the menthol kick inside of a mint, but I like a sweeter mint, and this Freeze Mint has been very sweet, and I really appreciate that. I'm also smoking the very end of my lemon iced tea that I was able to find. I knew I still had some around, so I'm very happy about that. And then I threw in some Sherbetli lemon meringue on top of it. So I have a lot of lemon, quite a bit of mint, and some iced tea in there. So it's a very, very nice and pleasant smoke right now. I'm really enjoying it quite a bit. Dr. Noob Sauce says that he's just checking in. Etch Gaming says, I did. I don't know what he's talking about. I didn't bring a hookah this time. Oh, bad mistake, my friend. Tony is here as well. What is up, Tony? So nice to see you. Daniel did say, so yeah, I want to go, but I'm not sure I can find the money for the plane ticket in time, which I will not fault you for at all. I will try to private message you, Daniel, and we will talk a little bit about it. Congratulations on getting second place, obviously. Paul's not here to receive his first place, so I think we're just going to bump Daniel up. Is that what we decided to do? Is that what, no? I'm just kidding. Someone tell Paul.
A dangerous game, Matthew.
Somebody tell Paul that he's in risk of losing his title if he doesn't show up. Just kidding. I mean, he's probably doing some actual like important work or something is why he's not here, because he's usually here. So I would imagine there's a reason for him not being here. But let's get back into the show a little bit. We're all smoking and we're all enjoying it. How is that Union smoking hookah for you, Badia?
It's been one of my favorite ration pieces that I own. I have the Like Smoke, the Virgin one, and I also have the Alpha Kappa model. And this one has been my favorite so far. Smokes very well. Smokes very well.
Because I'm really interested in getting a Like Smoke hookah. I really think that they just look absolutely fantastic. I like the woodwork inside of it, the light and the dark wood that they have together. I think just looks absolutely fantastic. So it's like, I think that's my next hookah that I plan on getting is a Like Smoke hookah. I've been trying to convince Adrian to get a Like Smoke hookah as well, because I want to create the Like Smoke gang. Or maybe we can have the realm of the Like Smoke. Maybe that's what we could do.
Are we talking about THL right now?
We're talking about whatever we want to talk about. THL has gone full
THL
RPG.
has some stuff going on.
They are.
And all I'm saying is you need to join the, what did I call it?
I don't even remember.
Something about we only use foil and coal in this gang.
Yes. I'm the keeper. I'm the keeper of the puns, I guess. Is that what my official title is going to be?
Matt's keeper of puns. It's a pretty low ranking position.
Oh, hold on. I'll work my way up the ranks. Don't you worry about me. I'll work my way up. I'll earn your trust. and become your knight in shining armor.
Shiny foil.
It's pretty cool what they're doing, but I do highly recommend getting a light smoke,
Okay,
especially the V2.
Uh-huh.
I've had a chance to try it, which is what everybody will probably buy now, is the V2 version of it, and it's really good. There's a lot of improvements from the V1, and they do listen to feedback and they implemented most of that stuff in there. So it's pretty good. You won't be disappointed. It's money worth spent, I guess.
Very cool. So I wanted to get into real quick, Badia, you're more than welcome to join in this part of the conversation as well, but I wanted to talk to Adrian and see if there was any new reviews that he wanted to talk about coming up anytime soon. I believe he has my webcam options are popped up on screen. But I wanted to see if Adrian has some new reviews that he wanted to maybe pimp a little bit or talk about. So Adrian, do you have anything going on?
I do. The Al-Fakr series part 11 is supposed to come out today, but life happens sometimes. So it won't be coming out today. It'll be coming out either tomorrow or Wednesday. But that's going to, spoiler alert, it's going to be on a mix, not a straight Al-Fakr flavor. It's a popular mix. Some of you might know exactly what I'm talking about. And then a few more ugly reviews. And then I have this really cool review. And I'm not going to say too much, but I did just order a $10 hookah off Amazon.
Ooh. Doing some experimenting then, I'm taking it.
It might just be funny. I might destroy a hookah. I'm not sure yet.
Oh.
Look out for that one.
Okay.
What about you, Matthew? You have anything cool coming down the pipeline?
I do have a couple things coming down the pipeline. Do you have? Did you say what your flavor of Al-Fakr is going to be? Did you announce that or not? I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
It's gonna be a mix.
A mix, okay.
And it's a well-known mix, so I'm imagining you probably know what I'm getting at.
Is it anything to do with a video game franchise?
Yeah, potentially a Nintendo video game franchise.
I can't wait to hear your thoughts on that. That's very exciting. I do have a couple of things coming down the pipeline. I know I said last time we actually spoke that I wasn't going to be reviewing charcoal anymore, but I got some charcoal right before I made that decision that I wasn't going to be reviewing charcoal anymore. So I have a review of the Al Sur Jar, I think is how you pronounce it. I apologize if I'm butchering that name. It's a cube charcoal. It's a pretty good cube charcoal. It's actually what I'm using right now. But that review is going to be coming out very shortly. And then I'm also going to be doing a review of a haze flavor, Beat the Heat, which in my opinion is the best of the new haze flavors that came out. Adrian, I know you've had a little bit of experience with the 3 new haze flavors. What was your favorite out of the 3? Obviously, there was BOF, which is burst of fruits or bunch of fruits, depending.
Bunch of fruits is the official name. And then there's Cotton Clouds and Beat the Heat.
And Beat the Heat. Beat the Heat was my favorite. What about yourself?
Beat the Heat was my favorite. It was Zach from Strictly Shisha's favorite. It was a lot of people's favorite, and it's probably because personally I think the Cotton Clouds flavor is not very good, and then fruit cocktail flavors are always mediocre at best in my opinion. But yeah, I'll be dropping reviews on all of those just because they're new flavors.
Somebody in the chat, I think, wants to make a guess on what your mix flavor is going to be, and I think they're pretty close. I think they're pretty close on what that could be.
I would say so.
Badia, what about you? Do you have any new reviews that you're going to be dropping anytime soon? How about you? Are you going to enter the review game?
I won't enter the review game. I am not cut out for that. I'm not cut out for reviewing at all.
I think you have a pretty good stash of Fakhamah you could go through, maybe. I don't know. You might know somebody.
I do have a lot of Fakhamah. Fortunately, I do. But I'll leave it to the experts and the people who do this and spend some golden time of their own time and their own money to do this. So,
plus it might be a conflict of interest, right?
Right now, very biased.
Very biased.
I was like, wow, this is great. This is the best I've ever had.
Go out and buy it right now, everybody.
I'm not sure how I think that would be.
Maybe not. You should, just consider it. Just think about it. That's all we're saying. Hey guys, also want to point out something real quick. I'm sure we already have something being said by Captain Wetbeard at some point. If you have not already, jump down to the like button and slap that like button all around. Give us a like. We have a few people in here, so I'd love to see you guys, if you're able to find that like button, give us a thumbs up and tell us that you're enjoying the show. But moving on,
15 likes, and I send Matt some Nakla, I'll send him some Zag.
Some Zag.
And he'll smoke it no foil.
I'll do that. You give us 15 likes,
Yeah.
I'll do that. No, not 15, because we average about 15. If we can get 20 likes on this, then I think we do it
15.
then. 16.
Nope, the number's already. The number's
15.
already.
Okay,
We're
15.
at 5. Time to go. He's got to do it live too.
I'll do it live. I'll do it next Monday if we can get the shipping all figured out and stuff. Yeah. Hey, Paul just barely made it. Did he make it in the time limit? Badia, is that timer still going? Did he make it?
I think he did. I think he did.
You just barely made it, Paul. Paul, you are the first place winner with your Bad Idea mix from Fakhamah. You scored yourself 1,000 grams of Fakhamah tobacco and also an expo ticket. Are you planning on going to the expo, Paul? Because if you're not already, you should definitely consider it because the ticket is there waiting for you. We'll be talking to you more about that, obviously, as well. Congratulations. And then I have to know, did you choose the name Bad Idea based upon my inefficiency to say Badia's name correctly? That's the real question that we all want to know. Sorry. So going into the show a little bit more, we have some news that I thought we would talk about for just a very brief little while. We'll go through a couple items. Adrian, I don't think you were here when I was telling Badia this, but I'm actually going to put a picture on the screen right now. You are probably not going to see it, which is fine until you look at the Facebook feed, or I mean the YouTube feed, my apologies. But there is a new charcoal that just got released onto the market. It's getting released into the market, I guess I should say, from Coco Flare. Adrian, have you heard about this? They're releasing an XL Cube. Have you seen this yet?
An X, really? No, what's it going to be, like 27 mil, 28 mil?
I want to say it's probably about 27, if not 28. The picture should be arriving here shortly on your screen if you haven't already seen it.
I see it. Oh, is that just a cube next to the new cube?
Yes.
Okay, so I have some. I like Charcoal Flare. I think they make a good product, and I kind of want a bigger cube. I use cubes in the Provost a lot, and I've wanted my cubes to last a little bit longer, so those look pretty good.
They look very, very big. Badia, are you normally a flats type of smoker, or are you a cube type of smoker?
I'm a cube. I'm a cube until Eddie, who's a friend of the show. He's also a neighbor of mine. He's close by, so he came over when I met him first time. He brought the flats that, if I'm not mistaken, they were the titanium flats, and I tried them, and he also gave me some to keep, but I'm mostly a cube.
Okay. Does a bigger cube entice you at all to try this out? Do you like to try new things that hit the market, like this sort of stuff, or are you somebody that's kind of set in your ways a little bit?
Absolutely. I try everything that's new in the market. Let me say that. I try to try everything that's new in the market because as a product owner, as I want people to try my product, I always try other people's product too in general because I know where they're coming from when they put something out. So I try to try it from that's from tobacco to hookahs to charcoals to now get into the bowls game. So yeah, I try everything.
Oh, very, very cool.
Stay up to date too. So I try to stay up to date also with the community and the enthusiasts.
Very cool. We have some people in the chat right now asking a couple questions. I do want to know if you guys in the chat are more of a cube type smoker or a flats type smoker, and if this extra large cube from Coco Flare has you excited, or what your thoughts are on it. Chef Dan's Hookah says it looks like a Borg ship. Going back to Star Trek a little bit, he's saying that it looks like a Borg ship, actually. And he also asks who won second and third place. Second place was the Hitchhiker, and third place was, oh man, don't... Pappy's, yeah, Pappy's Mix. Pappy's Mix won third place. As I will only refer to it from this point forward, I will sound as white as humanly possible and call it Pappy's Mix for sure. Captain Whitbeard says, Cube Gang. So he likes the cubes, it turns out. Gus says, is somebody bowling over there? I'm not bowling. Anybody bowling? So yeah, so let us keep knowing in the chat if you could, if you guys are cube smokers or flat smokers, and what your guys' preferred charcoal is, even if you'd like to. So let's go ahead and jump over to our next little detail of information, and we're going to be talking about the expo real quickly. Don't want to spend too much time on it. You're going to be seeing another picture appear on the screen here, actually, and this is a picture of the layout as of right now of all the different vendors that are a part of the Hookah Worldwide Expo happening in August in Las Vegas. This is pretty cool. There are a lot of big booths, there's a lot of small booths, and there's a lot of vendors coming out to this. Adrian, me and you are both planning on being there at the expo. Which booth are you most excited to go and check out?
I feel obligated to say Fakhamah.
Yeah,
is that wrong?
No, that's not wrong at all. That's the truth. We're both very excited to check out Fakhamah. Not just because
Hey,
we
Matt,
have...
real quick.
Yeah.
Do you have like a fan or something going
I do
where
not.
you are?
I do not, no.
I'm getting some background noise. Does anyone notice any background noise?
I thought I heard a little bit of maybe static or something. I don't know if it's coming from me or Badia. Do you have your fan?
It might be me. It might be me. Just my AC just kicked off. So
There it is.
That's probably it, actually.
There you
yeah,
go.
this setup looks amazing. We've got 6 large booths, and there's a lot of reputable companies. There's 5 reputable companies, and there's another company. I'm just throwing shade for no reason. But yeah, Zomo, Fakhamah, Fakhamah, which is kind of a big deal. They'll be coming out to an expo. They're probably one of the biggest brands worldwide. We've got
Very big.
Starbuzz, one of the biggest American brands, and Fumari, all have big booths. And then we've also got, I mean, you guys can obviously see what's going on. It looks like Coco Earth has 2 booths, which is kind of neat. But yeah, Cervelle is going to be there. Is that Deezer?
Yes,
Deezer can
Deezer.
probably not show up if they don't want to.
That's going to be weird. That's going to be a weird one to show up. I don't know of anything that is... I want to say this in the nicest way possible, but they don't really have a lot of enthusiast products. They have a lot of very beginner products. Quick light charcoal, kind of those gas station hookahs that you find at gas stations and stuff like that. I think they have a type of non-tobacco, maybe a gel of some kind. Is that correct?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
Yep. Now, it's worth noting that it's not just going to be hyper enthusiasts that show up. Everyone likes a party, and that's all the expo is going to be, a giant party. So,
Yes, it is.
you know, whatever.
Looking very much forward to it. We have some comments going on here in the chat that I wanted to maybe point out a little bit. That's my fan, is what Caleb says. He says that it's his fan. So if you could please turn that off, Caleb, we would definitely appreciate that a lot.
Thanks, buddy.
Hookah Fiend says that the next giveaway should be a Provost.
I mean,
It's a good idea.
I'm not against. I mean, yeah, I feel like a lot of people haven't seen the light that is the Provost.
Yeah, that'd be a fun
so
one to do.
Nothing's confirmed,
Yes.
but we see you.
Etch Game says cube, and they definitely look like they finally decided to make a cube the size everybody else is making. I don't know. I don't have any experience with their cubes prior. I don't know if you did, Adrian. Was their cube a little bit smaller than the average size?
Yeah, I would definitely say so. They were actually a little bit smaller on average than the titanium cubes, which are my standby cube. That's kind of what I just go to.
Okay.
So I'm enticed. I can't wait to try these out.
Very cool. Looks like Doug is here pimping the 3-tip gang right now.
If you guys want to be a part of the 3-tip gang, all you gotta do is take 3 of your hookah tips and put them all inside of each other. Tony says AOT, holler at Matt. I would be cool with that. I'm a big fan of the AOT stuff. I have the Apple on Top Carbon 1 stem. I also have their Apple on Top hose that I don't use nearly as much because it's put away and I just don't have it near me. And then I use the Provost all the time. Basically, it's a standby for me completely. As I think many people do, but there are plenty of people that don't. I guess 360 is also going to be there, which is another brand like Deezer or Druzer, or however you pronounce that. But yeah, so there's a lot of really cool booths that are going to be there. Like you said, there's 6 really big booths that are put there. Zomo, I think, is going to be a really exciting one. I hope they have the Kingdom Hookah there because I want to check it out in person. Though I'm not super interested on a personal standpoint, I would like to see it actually in action and stuff like that. And on the actual, you know, the outer perimeter of it, there's a ton of different booths, both for the enthusiast market, from hookahs to tobacco to the more beginner brands as well. There's a lot of charcoal brands. Coco Earth has some brands there. I know Alpaca Bowls is going to be there, for instance. There's just going to be a ton of people there, which is really exciting, obviously. So I'm going to bring us back into the fold on the actual screen now so people can see us again. And stop being so sexual, man. I don't even know what I'm doing. I didn't even mean to be so sexual, Dan. Not trying to get you going. Etch Game says the Provost over every other HMD, which is, I can't say that I don't agree. I don't disagree with that at all. That's a very good statement. So, Badia, since we have you here, I want to see if you can tell us any of your plans or your news regarding the expo in any way.
So we're super excited to be at the expo. And I want to shout out to Jake Jacobson and Hookah John and John Madur on putting this together for the American market and for all the hookah enthusiasts around the U.S. and outside the U.S. who wants to come to check out what we have for the U.S. market. And yeah, we have some surprises. We have some releases coming into the expo where it's gonna be super exciting for everyone
Very
who's an
cool.
enthusiast.
Very
Right?
cool. Any
who's a seasoned smoker, I
Okay.
would say.
Okay.
They're gonna really enjoy what we have planned for the expo. There's gonna be a lot of giveaways. There's gonna be tons of tobacco, and there's gonna be some good stuff.
Now-
and we have some crazy people coming out to the booth themselves, and we have Oasis. Oasis.
Very nice. Now
Vegas?
you are
Yeah, in Vegas.
you're not going to actually be at the expo, or you're still trying to get to the expo. Is that correct?
So I personally am gonna make my my best to be at the expo, but right now it's kinda tough to be at the expo because I'm gonna be across Atlantics outside the country.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna try my best to be there, but all my partners will be there. All our team is gonna be there. So and I'm right now currently jealous
Yes,
of
yes.
Adrian.
Adrian is already getting side hookah service at the moment. This is what it's going to be like when you get to the expo. He always has somebody there to help him along the way of smoking. And look at him just chill there. Just completely chill as all possible.
Yeah, this is my coal caddy here.
does your coal caddy have a name, or is he just Mr. Coal Caddy? Oh, okay, he's sharing. That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
So yeah, that's gonna be super exciting. I can't wait for everyone to be there, and hopefully we can do more and more giveaways from now until then to get people to go out there and try to have as many people as we can, because that will support the organizers, right? To actually give them more for next year, to do it bigger and bigger. So the more, I mean, we can show up as companies, but if people don't show up, then it's not. It's all about the people who's going to show up. It's all about you guys. It's all about the enthusiasts. It's all about people who wants to try new things or just come out there and smoke hookah. Really, that's all.
Now, you're no stranger, and Fakhamah is not a stranger to expos, correct? Like, you guys are a world-renowned brand, obviously not just here in the United States in the market here, but you've been around to other expos that are actually around the world, correct?
Yes.
Are there any expos that you really enjoy going to?
So the one in it's a little bit different, to be honest, the way that the expos are set up. So when we had the expo in Brazil, right? The Brazil Expo, Fakhama was there. People will show up with their actual bowl, and they bring their hookahs, right?
Okay.
So it's a big outdoor convention. It's like bring your own hookah, bring your own bowl. You stand in line. You walk up to the booth. You get your bowl packed with whatever you want, and you go back and smoke it, and you come back and refill it from different brands, different things. I think that's pretty cool. In Germany, that was super exciting, because I mean, we didn't go this year, the year before that, but it's a little bit different crowd. It's all about retail over there. People really like to go to the show to be able to purchase things that they're not in their local shops or stuff like that, and they haul a lot of stuff. I haven't been able to go to the Russian show yet. We were there, but I haven't personally been able to go. But our distributors and our partners in that region were there. So hopefully next year I'll be able to go to the Russia one.
Very cool.
And in the United States we're in a TPE usually. Okay. But we want to be more into the hookah focused one, so that's why we're supporting what John and Jake are doing, right? Because hookah does deserve their own show and their own expo. So
Agreed.
I would
100%.
love to, definitely a goal of mine one day, and I would imagine Adrian too. We'd love to be able to go to one of these different expos across the seas and stuff like that. I think that'd be an absolute blast.
Now, Matt, is it time to get into the interview? Is my next question.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're gonna go ahead and kind of move into the interview.
I
Okay.
have a request.
All right.
In these interviews, typically I'm quiet for a half hour.
Yeah, it's my fault.
Because you're asking the question. I'm seeing these questions and I'm like, what if we just go every other question?
Yeah, I think
so I can talk too.
I think that'd be a really good way to do it.
Yeah, you can do that? Sweet.
Yeah, I kind of took over the last interview completely. Maybe I'll just let you just drive the whole thing. I wouldn't mind doing that at all. So first and foremost,
you're not getting off the hook.
As we get into the interview, I want to ask Badia something real quick. I know we can't go into details, which is fine, but I've heard rumors, and maybe you can help put some of these rumors to rest, about possibly coming out with a dark league of some kind from Fakhama. Is there anything that you can talk about when it comes to that at all?
Well, like I said, if you're gonna be at the expo, then we'll put the rumors to rest if that's the case.
Okay.
If the rumors are going around that we're gonna be having a dark leaf, then if it's true, it will be at the expo.
Okay.
For instance, that's where that's I mean, there's other rumors going around of some new products, some non-tobacco things, but it will all be revealed at the expo.
Could be a dark leaf, could be a hookah. No one knows what it's going to be.
Nobody knows.
Yep.
I like
No one
this.
knows.
Rumors are rumors, which is they're fun sometimes, and most of the times they're I'd like to think of them as positive, but in this case, hopefully they're positive, not negative.
I think so for sure. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the interview, and I'll ask the first question, and then we'll build off of it for the rest. I hope Adrian's okay with that. My first question is going to be just, what does Fakhama mean? I think that we get lost in some of these different buzzwords for tobacco names and different stuff like that, and I have a very strong curiosity on what does Fakhama mean, the actual translation of it, or what does it mean as a brand?
Al-Fakhama as a word in Arabic depends where it comes into the actual sentence. It would be luxury or elegant or elegance. It could be used in different, like as a verb or as a, I'm not sure what the other word is, but
an adjective.
It will be elegant, or luxury.
Okay, cool. Very, very nice. Adrian, if you want to tackle the next question.
Badia, how long have you been smoking?
I've been smoking since I was 14.
Oh, sounds legal.
Well, it is legal because I lived in Syria. So.
Oh, okay, cool.
I've smoked there, and that's what I.
How long have you been in the United States?
I've been in the United States for about 16 years now.
Okay. Long time.
I was born and raised in Syria, and I moved to the U.S. when I was 15. So.
Okay, very cool. Now, if you guys have any questions inside the chat, please let us know that as well to ask Badia. Just preface your question with a question mark so that I can see it very quickly and clearly, and I will be able to ask him the question, or Adrian will ask the question as well. Going straight into our next interview question, what are your thoughts on social media and hookah? And this will be kind of a full conversation with other questions probably being asked as well throughout it. But just in general, what are your thoughts about the way social media is being used in the hookah communities and towards hookah in general?
I'll take a step up before we go into specifically the hookah community or tobacco in general.
Okay.
The social media is everything, right? Nowadays, the internet is everything. It's like the easiest way to reach many people, to have an outreach and quickly. So, for tobacco specifically, it's very, very, I guess, dispersed, I would say.
Okay.
It's very tough. It's because regulation on social media, on the biggest social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, advertising anything tobacco for paid I guess it is very, very strict, and actually it's not even allowed, right? But organically driving traffic or doing giveaways or kind of followers or things like that is very, very important. I mean, you can't not have social media present. That's number one. And number two, the difficulty that we have because of the regulation, we take different I guess avenues to be able to approach a bigger presence and outreach, from vendor accounts to our main giveaways, engagements, and things like that. So you always have to have content, and you always have to. It's a two-way street. You want people expecting content from you. You could also do some also giveaways at the same time. But it is very important, and it's hard. It's difficult. Big companies, big corporates spend millions and millions of dollars to be able to figure this question out, how to leverage the social media in the best way, and they're still figuring it out. So it is okay for small moms and pops and reviewers and anybody on the social media to be able to, I guess, hit the ground running.
Okay. Now, what are the biggest differences between like something like Facebook and Instagram? I know, yeah, Fakhamah is on Instagram, and I guess not only just Facebook and Instagram, but Facebook and other media platforms. Even Twitter is in this conversation.
Yeah, so in general, if you look at the lay of the field, the engagement on Instagram is much larger than Facebook in general, unless you actually Facebook a business or app or anything like that engage within that platform. But mostly people are on Instagram more than they're actually on Facebook. It's just how the actual platform itself set up and how you reach out to people through just really photo posts. But if you're actually on Facebook, you have your news, you have your regular friends, you have your like pages, your group posts. So it's very noisy in general, unless it's a paid advertisement, which we can't do. Same thing on Instagram, but they're funny how Instagram and Facebook and even Twitter have their algorithms for being for engagement and how it shows up in the feed of anyone who's following you or people you're following. So it's pretty interesting, but Instagram is for us, at least from our perspective, I don't speak to others, but from our perspective, it is more engaging than Facebook in the United States.
Now, Adrian, you have quite a bit of experience with using both Instagram and Facebook as well. What have you noticed in the differences between Facebook and Instagram?
Well, Instagram is very friendly to things like Hookah because it's all image-based, and most of the traffic on Instagram tends to be organic. So Hookah is actually pretty big on Instagram. There's a lot of traffic. There's a lot of pages that I follow, and they do very well. So I think Instagram's a really good place to be if you're a brand or you're just like an influencer or something, like you're a reviewer or some shit like that. Instagram's a good place to be, but you got to be on Facebook because that's where communication happens. That's where you can get like dialogues going with people. So they're both important, but I would say there's a lot more attention on Instagram when it comes to the hookah industry.
Okay. Did you see the question that was asked in chat from Captain Whitebeard?
There were two of them.
Yes, I saw that as well.
Do we want to go with the top three question or the introducing somebody to Fakhamah question?
Let's start with the top three. Just a very simple one.
I think, Badia, we should ask you this question first. What are your top three Fakhamah flavors, man?
My personal top three are grape mint, orange mint, and lemon mint.
Oh, classic.
Traditional.
Yeah, very classic.
And actually, ice lemon mint is the type. I switch between lemon mint and ice lemon mint. It depends on the mood.
Yeah, very cool. You guys have, in my opinion, the best lemon mint on the market, and that's saying something because I am extremely judgmental of lemon mints. I think most of them are bad,
Yes,
which is weird because it's my favorite flavor profile.
Very, very harsh on the lemon mints. I trust
Yeah.
everything when it comes citrus mint. I trust everything Adrian says. He's pinpoint perfect on that. What have it been your top 3 flavors from Fakhamah so far, Adrian?
That's hard. Lemon mint is definitely my favorite one, but I can't remember who it was. But someone said the iced tea flavors are great, and man,
Yeah.
that grapefruit iced tea is insanely good. That's got to be in the top 3. And then, honestly, it's got to be the passion fruit mango freeze is also in the top 3. Those are probably my 3 big. I want kilos of that flavor, Fakhamah flavors.
I want to try that passion fruit so badly because I keep hearing such good things about it. Yes. My favorite top 3 are, my number 1 favorite one is the guava by far. It is so good and natural. It is absolutely my favorite one. I love that one a lot. This one is coming in at a strong first, second place, this freeze mint. I'm really, really enjoying it for what it is and everything. And then I would have to say my third favorite is going to fall somewhere between the grapefruit mint, because I really dig that one quite a bit. And then this lemon iced tea is so very good. Like, it's been too long since I've smoked it, and I forgot just how much I really do enjoy it. It's such a very pleasant flavor. I think that if you get any of the 3, we were able to really have 3 separate favorite flavors. So that's 9. That's a top 9, basically, that we just rattled off. And any of those flavors, if you start with Fakhamah with those, I think you're going to be doing yourself a very good service for yourself. Bonus question.
And I would say
yes.
the top selling one, and if you haven't tried it, if you like the fruity stuff, passion fruit is something to try, and that's one of our top sellers. Is passion fruit.
Very cool. Another one, the rarest. If you guys like pink lemonade flavors, the rarest is a very, very good flavor as well. Bonus question: if you're introducing somebody to Fakhamah Shisha, what bowl do you load for them to try it first? First impressions and everything. Captain Whitbeard says, or Chef Dan says, Egyptian clay bowl is what he says.
Asterisk.
Asterisk.
Did you see the second part to the question?
I did not know.
So his actual question was, what bowl would you pack? Not the physical bowl, but what mix or what flavor would you pack? But I think we should answer both questions.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
Good.
What flavor do you recommend people first? I'm kind of assuming it would be the passion fruit is what you're recommending would be their first one to try.
Actually, I would say I would ask them the question first, because a lot of people that I know, they would actually smoke gum mint or lemon mint or orange mint. I'll pack those directly for them. But if they don't have, I like fruity stuff, I'd pack passion fruit immediately for them. And for the actual bowl, I would pack it in an Egyptian clay bowl.
Okay.
As the first one, because that's what I've packed it for the longest time, until, and I still do, but I'm trying the new balls and stuff like that, all the funnel balls, I guess.
Okay. So, time to veer off a little bit.
Badia, just 1 second. Badia, you're not a big fan of the funnel bowls, right? Like, you don't see, I want to say, the light, I guess would be maybe a good way to put it, when it comes to, like, different bowls and stuff like that. I don't know if it's because you're stuck in your ways or you just don't think that they add that much to it. What's your reasoning for enjoying, I don't want to say enjoying because it's fine that you do, obviously, but that reason for liking the Egyptian clay bowl so much for this brand?
So, not just for this brand itself, any blonde leaf brand, because I've always smoked blonde leaf for the longest time until like about a year ago I smoked dark leaf. But in general, that's the things that I know and the things that I'm pretty good at and comfortable with, and it's fast. It's just fast to pack, and I like I'm always short on time nowadays, and I'll just as you throw it in the ball, it just works. And I'm very open-minded. I'm not very traditional. I'm traditional in respecting to what I know best, but I'm pretty open-minded. I mean, I've been smoking. I haven't smoked in a traditional KM in a very long time right now, over like maybe a month or so, and that's saying something for me and my friends who knows me. So I've been smoking this Russian pipe, but in general. It's not like I don't see it. I'm like I said, I'm not
against it or anything?
I'm not experienced enough to be able to differentiate between the different balls when it comes to blonde leaves, right? When it comes to blonde leaf, I've noticed when I pack dark leaves, there's a little bit of difference of behavior of the tobacco, but that's just me.
Okay.
And I'm just going to go out and say you've got a ally in that area. I think that people kind of discount Egyptian red clay bowls because the funnel bowl is the hot thing on the market. They look really good. I think from an aesthetic standpoint, funnel bowls are better. And there's certain scenarios where you really can't get away with using an Egyptian bowl. But with a lot of these traditional blonde leaf tobaccos, I think you can actually get more flavor using an Egyptian bowl because of the way that the airflow works within an Egyptian bowl. So I guess TLDR, I agree with you, Badia.
Chef Dan says, see the light. That's what Chef Dan says right now. I'm going to agree with you as well when it comes to using an Egyptian clay bowl. I don't use them as much as I used to anymore, but I do still use my Liberty Eggy bowl, which is like a modern take on the Egyptian bowl, which I think is kind of very similar to that same sort of idea behind it, basically. It's a, you know, a big area where you're actually just putting it in there and stuff like that, and you have kind of the holes placed more towards the bottom and everything. It's kind of this weird hybrid between a funnel bowl and an Egyptian bowl. I like using that a lot for my blonde leaf tobaccos that I will do and stuff like that. Captain Whitbeard says, AM Hookah Special Edition Tangiers flavor, the light. I like that. I like that. One day, goals.
Eric, we consent to this.
Yes, if Eric wants to do it, totally down to do that. I got no problem. We'll be on the call right away for it.
There's a hashtag trending.
Hashtag trending.
Captain Wetbeard.
Tangiers for Badia. Very nice. I see the chat going through.
I'm not experienced dark leaf smoker, so like 30 minutes is my top with any dark leaf. So that's where that joke is coming from. Any dark leaf, I'll just 30 minutes and I have to lay down.
Hey, we all start somewhere, so there's no problem. Moving on, I think we already asked where you're originally from. We've already asked kind of what some of your favorite Fakhamah flavors are, obviously. What are some of your general...
My turn.
Okay, go right ahead. Go right ahead.
Badia, how'd you get started in the hookah industry?
Well, I've been smoking for a long time, and I've a lot of friends in the industry who own a lounge or who's wholesalers or who distribute their brand of charcoals or things like that. So, but 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago, I was approached by my uncle who carried a brand of tobacco here. So, me being an entrepreneur, because I own a couple of businesses, I really jumped on this idea because I know a lot of people in the industry where I'd be able to, network and introduce this product and get into the industry. So I did my regular research, market research in general, which took about 6 months, and start learning how hard is it to do to introduce a new tobacco product. But the harder it got, the more appealing to me it was. And we teamed up with 4 of my partners who are good friends of mine now, and one of them is my best friend. And we have a great team, and we've been doing this for about 3 years now, and hopefully we'll be here for another 10 years or so. So that's it. It got from a phone call, really. Like, hey, you want to carry a tobacco? I was like, sure. I have some money saved up.
Very cool. Very cool.
Pretty much.
So my question to you is besides Fakhamah, what are some of your favorite flavors that you also enjoy to smoke? I'm assuming you smoke just a lot of Fakhamah, which is fine. I understand the reason why and stuff. But are there some other stuff that you also enjoy from time to time to smoke?
Absolutely. I smoke Trifecta. Gordon Glory is one of my favorite to smoke. And the Orange Seville coffee, I'm also from Trifecta. And I've always smoked I guess you could say Blue Mist.
Yes, another one, Adrian.
And it got to a point where I can't smoke it anymore. I did smoke it for I did smoke it for a while. Where it seems like you can't get it. You can't get wrong. You can't go wrong with it at the hookah bars. You know what I mean? Where you can, if you order grape mint, it'll be ghosted with some other flavor. But Blue Mist was very strong. It doesn't matter what it's ghosted in, even if it's double apple, it will come out. Yeah, and I've been enjoying some new stuff in the market too. I try to smoke almost everything. Like I said, I try all brands.
It's good to know what's out there, especially.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Real quick before we get to the next question, if we get 2 more likes, Matt's gonna be smoking some Zagul that I'm gonna send him with no foil. We're at 13. All I need is 15 to ship this to Matt and force him to smoke it on a live stream. For those of you who don't know what Zag is, it's a very old school natural black molasses tobacco, and you smoke it without foil. Oh. And I want Matt to go through this real bad, and I want everyone to see it. So just, if you haven't liked this video, just give it a little like. Just go down there and click.
We have over 17 people watching the show. We have quite a few people watching it. So all they need to do is just band together a little bit and hit that like button. And I guess I'll be smoking some Zagul live on air next week without any foil. I'll be doing Zagul the way that it was meant to be done.
But you need to get the right you need to get the right charcoals for that. Though.
Wood charcoal.
Oh yeah, some wood, natural wood charcoal.
Yeah, natural wood charcoals for that. Otherwise, you're.
Oh, Matt, we're there, by the way.
Oh, we just hit it?
Yeah.
I mean, oh, yeah.
So, congratulations, everybody. We're going to have a cough fest on the next podcast.
Oh, my God.
Maybe the one after that. We'll do a special one-off for it. We don't know yet.
You're going to have to carry the entire show. The entire show. Hashtag torture Matt. Rest in peace, Matt. God Shisha. Hashtag God Shisha. Let me go and hit like that. Oh my gosh, I don't even know what I'm signing up for. I don't know why I agreed to this, but it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good time, I think.
I think you have another question for Badia.
I do have another question. Advertising. I want to go a little bit behind the scenes into the inside baseball, if you will, a little bit. I was wondering if you could walk us through just a little bit, maybe touch us up on the differences between advertising in the United States market compared to other markets. Is there anything different that you do in comparison to the 2 different markets, or are they kind of similar in a lot of ways, or are they pretty different in a lot of ways?
I mean, I can tell you the marketing in, for instance, for like in Brazil, it's always it's mostly videos, right? They really like videos. So if they're doing an advertisement on a certain like passion fruit or a certain flavor, they'll do a video of that, and it engages people. People really like to watch those videos, and also bundles. Right, bundle showing the tobacco itself is important. Being relative to the market that you're in, right? So showing the product within showing the product with products that inside that particular community that's familiar to the people who's seeing it. So when they see, for instance, an alpaca ball inside, and then the leaves are inside of there, they can relate immediately. Like, it's great, and it engages, like, how does this behave in this kind of ball and stuff like that. So it's important to be relative to the market that you're in. But the biggest thing that we see, in the South America partners is they do a lot of videos, which is pretty cool. I wish they were in English. So we can reuse them, but they will reuse our stuff, no problem if it's in English, but we can't use the Portuguese ones, or the things in Germany or in Russia.
Okay.
It's a little bit different.
Now, the American tobacco that we have here is all undyed, even though this freeze mint has kind of a yellow tint to it, but I think that's still undyed, I believe. In the Brazilian market, the box that you sent me from the Brazilian tobacco, it's actually dyed red. Is there a reason why you dye it red in the Brazilian market in comparison to the American market?
That's what they. I guess that's what they like. That's what they
are used
kind of
to,
familiar with, and knowing that it's coming from the Middle East, They expecting the red dye in it. The flavor profile doesn't change a lot, but that's the only difference. Basically, with the market preference.
Is there a difference in flavors when it comes to marketing to different regions? Like I've heard before, and I don't know how true this is, in the American market, we're really interested in mixes, like mixed flavors and stuff like that. I don't know how true that is when it comes to actually trying to make a sale and stuff like that. But do you notice that you push more mixes in the American market in comparison to like single note flavors at all?
Yes or no.
Okay.
Yes or no. If you're talking retail, yes. If you're talking wholesale and what goes to the lounges, then I would say a little bit of no. More traditional stuff, more single note with mint, right? Lemon mint, orange mint, gum mint, grape mint, and that's just what the traditional things that you're gonna find in general. But in retail, yeah, people really like the idea, the fact of mixes, things that sound like the rarest, the mountain breeze. Like passion fruit, like really can't mix it, but the amore that we have, there's other stuff coming down the line like tango la vida. Those are things that from the Brazilian market, and the Brazilian market is they really like tropical stuff, and they really like strong ice flavor.
How important is mint inside of selling tobacco? Is mint a pretty big key aspect when it comes to trying to push a product?
Mint is the only, and I can state that, mint is the only important flavor in any tobacco flavor.
Okay. That's interesting.
So, and I'm talking from a company, not retail, and people with, so in general, your mint, like if you're ordering a container of flavors, there's another container of mint by itself.
Okay.
That's how important mint is by itself. So because a lot of people like to make their own mixes, and if you do house mixes, which a lot of lounges do, they always throw mint in there in general. So yeah, mint is very important, and not just in flavors, as a flavor by itself. Is very important.
Adrian, you want to take the last question?
All right, final question of the day. Unless anyone has something real quick, you can ask really quick. Otherwise, we're going to wrap up pretty soon here. But, Badia, in your time in the hookah industry, how have you seen the industry change?
Well, from regulations, we have a lot of regulations. So we keep getting hit by taxes, and the consumers are feeling that too. And in general, like state taxes and federal taxes, as important as importers and exporters, we have a lot of federal taxes and regulations are coming down to us. And then there's also the consumers themselves have state taxes, which is sales taxes, it affects the prices. So they're constantly doing this, and New Jersey is getting updates. Michigan might be getting updates. I'm not sure if it's going to pass I'm not sure if it's the Senate or the Congress now. And California, same thing. California already passed in last July, to 65% on tobacco taxes. So they're making it harder. That's from the regulation part. They're pushing and just will keep us on our toes to be creative, to be to bring the cost down, to make it affordable, to people still enjoy what they enjoy, this hobby. From other perspective, I think the vape the vape industry is what ruined it to us, and it's okay if I'm responsible for what I'm saying, but the vape, this all regulation of tobacco product, and FDA been taking over the tobacco regulation for hookah, which is called other tobacco products, is because of the vape industry. Because there's no regulation on that, and it burst and it blew out of proportion, where it got to really being like health hazards. So that's where the regulation kicked in. And there's more and more regulation coming because of the vape industry. So, and it's just gonna apply to us because they are part of the other tobacco product.
And we're seeing that in things like a ban on fruit flavor, or not fruit flavors, but mixed flavors of stuff. There is a state that is either trying to pass some sort of ban on flavored tobacco. I don't know if that's going to pass. There's multiple. That's been happening multiple times. I think it's in California or San Francisco or something, where they're trying to ban. Huh?
It's in New York. New York doesn't have. There's a ban on flavored tobacco.
Oh, okay.
And you can only sell menthol. So you can only sell mint flavor.
That's how important mint is. No matter what the flavor, mint is always going to be the one that stands up straight. Yeah, I think that as we have regulations coming through on the vape end of things, it will be interesting to see, because those will definitely start to take over onto other sides of the coin as well, at least it seems. Was there any more questions in the chat that you saw, Adrian?
No, I think we're good.
Okay. Well, okay, there's one that says, how is the tobacco tax in Virginia? Or VA, Virginia, I think is what that is. Did you touch on that already? Oh, you did? Okay, sorry about that. My apologies.
No, I didn't, but the tobacco tax in Virginia are great.
Are great. No tobacco tax or something, I'm guessing?
No, there is, but they're, being a Commonwealth, and the Virginia tobacco in general is.
It helps with their industry, so they don't want to tax it too much. Yeah.
So we're happy to be here.
All right. Well, I mean, we could talk to you for so much longer, obviously, Badia. We're so happy to have had you on the show, and thank you so much for partnering up with our giveaway that we were able to do, and all thanks to Fakhama Tobacco for giving the second and third place winners as well a ticket for the expo. We'll be in contact with the winners shortly. Thank you guys so much for participating. We'll have all the mixes of the top 10 into the group page and also the hookah page as well, so you guys are able to see that, so you can make yourself some of these wonderful sounding mixes. There's plenty of them, Adrian. I don't know about yourself, that I want to try. The Chillberry I thought sounded good. The Frost belly button, or Frosty belly button, I thought
that was my girlfriend's.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
Yep.
I like the sound of that one, actually. There's quite a few in there. But thank you so much for joining us. Like I said, we could talk for hours on end. Sadly, I have some stuff I got to go take care of, so I'm not going to be able to. But in the future, for season 2, I definitely want to have you back on the show again. As a friend of the show, we appreciate it a ton. Where can we find you if people are looking for either yourself or Fakhama Tobacco? Where are some good places to look?
You can find me on Facebook at Badia Damash, and I'm just as my name spelled out, and Fakhama.USA on Facebook, and Fakhama USA on Instagram. And I'm very reachable. You can reach out to me on any of those channels and just tag my name, and I'll be able to respond to all of you.
Very awesome. Adrian, where can we find you on the interwebs?
If you want to see some garbage reviews or some garbage tutorials, head right over to Pipe Dream Hookah on YouTube. That's me. I talk about hookah tobacco and hookah products. If you want to see the hookah porn, you can go on Instagram and Twitter, and that's _Pipe Dream. I'm very branded. And if you want to find me on Facebook, you can go look for Adrian Hunter. You'll know it's me because it's my face in the picture.
You can find the podcast on all sorts of parts on the world of the interwebs. You can find us on Twitter, _hookah, Instagram, Hookah Podcast, which we're going to be posting some more stuff there as well. Facebook, you can find us, Hookah Podcast, either as a group or as a page that you can like, and we'll be putting on more content as well there. We do have a question, though I don't think we're going to be able to touch on it too much, but Badia, how do you go about even starting a tobacco brand? Where does one even start at that? I think we're gonna kind of use that as like a to be continued. So the next time that we talk, maybe we'll touch on that a little bit. But we appreciate all the comments. Thank you for letting us hit 15 likes on this video. That means I'm gonna be smoking some Zagul tobacco from Nakla without any tinfoil. So make sure you show up for my funeral. I would appreciate that a lot. And
Etch and Wetbeard, I'm just gonna go ahead and say this ahead of time. I'm going to push for that to be a subtopic of one of the upcoming episodes. So that question will be covered. We're going to cover that question. If we have to, we'll get Badia back on the podcast, and we'll talk about it.
That'd be a very good
Unfortunately,
topic.
we're out of time today.
Yes, that would be a that could take up an entire episode for sure. That's a very in-depth question, so we appreciate that.
Question, yeah.
You can find me on YouTube as well, just Matt Dezen. You can see my reviews that I do there occasionally. You can find me on Facebook, just Matt Dezen as well. You can find me on Twitter at only Matt Dezen. And then I got something in my throat. Sorry, I'm not even smoking Sagul yet, and it's already starting to kill me. Oh my gosh, something is literally trying to choke me right now. I have a very special announcement. Before I started doing the AM Hookah podcast with Adrian, I used to do a Nintendo-themed podcast called the Nintendo Fever Podcast, and I'm actually going to be coming back and doing that for a couple of episodes. It's going to be nothing like this is. It's going to be talking about Nintendo and video games, and yes, I am pimping this. It is going to be on Wednesday. We don't have a home quite yet, but follow me on Twitter if you want to find out more information about that, where I will be talking about video games instead of hookah for a little while. So, nothing that's going to take me away. Yes, Adrian, I hope you show up to it. I think it's going to be a really fun time. I did it for a long time.
I'll show up.
It's fun to talk about video games occasionally, so that's my goal, to do that. But until next time, guys, thank you so much for joining us here at the AM Hookah Podcast. I can't tell you enough how much we appreciate it. And until next time, keep on smoking. Bye.